What if you aren't a part? That's the thought for today, is what if you don't feel a part? Okay, I'm going to explain a little bit where I'm going on this, but I help with a ladies' meeting in a distant city, and I go there a couple times a year just to be a part of the meeting of it. And every time I'm going in there, when I walk in there, and everybody has met several times without me, automatically I start feeling like I don't fit in here. I don't feel a part. I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know. And I think of all the things I don't know, and how I don't, it's just horrible. And so that's why I did this talk today and I studied out a little bit. There's every one of us wants to be liked, wants to be cherished or appreciated by our peers. But can I say this to you? I don't think that's on God's top priority list for me. He don't care whether I feel like I fit in with that committee. You know, he he doesn't care how many Facebook friends I have or how many people follow me on Twitter. He doesn't care about all that. He hadn't worried about how popular I am or how I fit in with other people. All God cares about is that he loves me and that I am doing his perfect will. Now, when I started thinking about that, I was going to walk in the door, and all of a sudden I thought, you know what? I don't have to fit in. I just have to be very focused on doing God's will. Now, how would that work even when I'm going into a church service? Because I went into a new church last night, and it feels a little bit awkward when we go to a new church and we don't know one. The only person we knew there was the pastor. We had known him from another church. We didn't know any individuals there. And I started walking around and greeting people and trying to make myself familiar with them. And and I saw people over talking to each other and laughing at each other. And I thought, I don't know a soul here, but I don't need to know a soul there. All I need to do is know what my purpose in being there is. All of a sudden, my whole focus of why I don't fit in or I don't feel a part, why it didn't matter. The world says failure is not an option. If you're not first, you're last. If you're not somebody, you're nobody. That's what the world says. But in Matthew 10, verses 29 through 31, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. For fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. Isn't that beautiful? Ye are of more value than many sparrows. I'm important to God, and so are you. So all of a sudden then, last night, as a couple weeks ago when I went to that committee, I just said, it doesn't matter whether I feel a part. It doesn't matter whether I fit in. I'm here to be a blessing. I'm here to do God's will. In that committee, I'm there to help plan this thing and fill the needs, whatever the leader feels like I could fill. I'm going to do that. And when I was at that church, I'm there to show them the love of Christ, show them the good spirit that I can have, and sing for them and be a support to my husband by nodding my head as he's preaching. I thought of all the things that I was there for. And you know what? I completely lost all my self-consciousness. Isn't that funny? Have you ever thought about this, ladies? You don't have to fit in. You don't have to fill a part. You have to do God's will. And then, as you're doing God's will, you'll be of more value than many sparrows. Ha! This is beautiful. I love God. I love who he is. I love how he makes me feel when I focus on him and his will for my life. And I hope you will too. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice.